Welcome to today's episode. I will discuss build rate, efficient assistance, and which mistakes to avoid while rushing construction or production projects. Build rate is an abstract value, which directly affects how fast a unit is able to build. Therefore, every production unit or building builds faster or slower, where Tier 1 engineers are the slowest and fully upgraded commanders are fastest. We'll not discuss all values in detail. The video will show some values on the screen for UEF and important exceptions from the rule. Knowing all values is great, but does not automatically make you a professional player. Applying conclusions still needs practice, and no match is like the other, so seeing and adjusting to the reality on the battlefield in real time and knowing your enemy are still key to winning. Discussing the specific values in detail will go beyond the 5-minute limit, and might just put you to sleep. So I will just stick to the conclusion, to get out of making those spreadsheets, and a technique how to figure things out while playing. This null set should give you more time to beat your opponent. Theory crafting helps, using your units more efficient, or might confuse the heck out of you. The Supreme Commander Wiki states, each factory has a build rate 4 times faster than an engineer of the same tier, which is true for the out-of-the-box versions, which also means you need 4 engineers to build as fast as a factory. What follows is, that you needed 4 assisting engineers to cut the production time in half. 8 engineers would cut build time down to a third, and 12 to only 1/4 the original time. Careful though. Cutting build time increases energy and mass cost by the same factor it decreases build time, so cutting it in half, costs double the resources per second. Or cutting it to 1/4 cost you 4 times as much. While I was looking up the values in my game files, I have version 3603 beta, and the unit database of Forged Alliance Forever I got stalled in my research. Build rates differ a lot from version to version, and that's maybe what the guys of Forged Alliance Forever mean, when they state on their homepage to have a completely different metagame. In vanilla Tier 2 engineers are twice as fast as Tier 1 engineers, and Tier 3 are 3 times as fast. In Forged Alliance Forever 3650 Tier 2 engineers are 2.5 times as fast as Tier 1, and in Tier 3 Cybrain and UEF have engineers 6 times as fast as their Tier 1 counterparts, while Ian and Seraphim engineers are hooping 8 times as fast. Sounds great at first, but for mass energy efficiency in early to mid-game, you'll see it's more efficient to have a lot of Tier 1 engineers running around. And understanding when to tech up is key. A word of advice, careful with your Tier 1 engineers, don't feed them to enemy commanders, support command units, or God beware experimentals, if you are stuck in a long stretched game. You'll have a homemade monster rampaging in your base in no time. So once your economy can support it, replace your Tier 1 engineers with higher tier engineers, and destroy or reclaim your Tier 1 engineers. High build rate means also high reclaim or capture rate. For field engineering, a group of engineers or teams of support command units are best, because they can defend themselves and last long under fire. Especially upgraded, they can build a whole fire base in a very short amount of time. UEF Sparkies are especially useful field engineering units, because they can defend themselves, and are able to build basic gun emplacements, shields and walls while being able to build faster than a Tier 2 engineer. Ian Harbinger, Tier 3 assault bots, on the other hand, can only reclaim and repair, and this also at a very slow rate, not worth noting. A Tier 1 engineer does the job faster. The Cybrain Tier 1 assault bottom mantis is even slower than the Harbinger, but in a few cases in early game can still make a difference, if able to reclaim a lot of scrap. The Supreme Commander Wiki states the rule of 4 engineers having the same build rate as a factory of the same tier. Because it is mass efficient, Forged Alliance Forever players might want to build another assistant factory instead. It takes less time and costs a little less mass and energy to build. When you start constructing, always check the time the engineer or factory needs to finish the project. Turn on the economy overlay, hold Ctrl and press R, and add assistance, until the sum of mass used by the assisting units equals the mass used by the original factory or engineer, and you know that construction time is half. I've met people who didn't know that factories can assist each other. So I will explain here how that works. Factories don't add their build rate specifically to one project, but copy the build queue of the factory they are supposed to assist. Lower tier factories can assist higher tiers, but will only build if units of their tier or lower are in the build queue. Of course, land factories can't assist air factories or shipyards, unless they are building engineers. I hope this helped or inspired you a little, and will help you to improve your gameplay. Here I want to end this video. If you have questions or suggestions, feel free to comment in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want notifications on new videos on this channel. Until next time. Signing off.